shuffle. What's up, YouTube? Haven't been here in a while. Haven't been doing much of anything carbon-wise or YouTube-wise. Been busy doing other stuff. What are you guys all up to? Well, as you see, I got the shop cleaned from probably the last time you saw it. There was a huge pile of wood back in there. Huge pile of sawdust and wood. That's gone now. Got that finally picked up. That I should have filmed it. I should have videoed it. It would have been funny to watch because it was literally in my shop, in my entire shop here, in just this space. I had like two full buckets with the loader, with the backhoe. They're about a cubic yard bucket each. I had two full buckets full of just sawdust and chunks of wood in here. That was really the last time I was in the shop, was that day when I was cleaning, and haven't really done much since then. I've been busy doing a lot of other things. I'm just working on a couple little things here. Put this guy in the background so you can see what I'm doing. Roosters. Haven't carved any roosters in a long time. So I decided I might as well throw a couple on here. busy working, doing my other work. Kind of felt like I needed a break from that work, so I figured I'd come in the shop and do a little bit of carving here. Now I started this one out with more feather detail, but the tool, I got to switch out the blade on this Arbortech, and I may or may not do that. I was messing around with detail with a different blade on that Arbortech. It looks kind of cool, but just to get it done, I may switch it. I can't read that at all. Hello to everybody saying hi. The other language, I don't know what you're saying. So sorry I can't read that. Is it Russian? Looks like Russian or something. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Yeah, just doing a little bit of work in the shop. Are you guys all pumped up for the holidays? I don't know if you guys know anything about me or not, but personally, the holidays is not exactly my favorite time of year. It's a good time of year because I like seeing the family. I like doing family stuff, but as far as carving and gifts and that kind of stress and the stress of my other work, it's not that fun. The fun thing though is when I get to just come in the shop and mess around with a couple carvings and get some time away from all the craziness. It's crazy out there with all the holiday shopping and scramble that everybody does. I don't know if you guys watch my channel and you know what else I do. bouncing on this thing. I might have to change this out. This one's a little big. I have other ones. I'd like to get a smaller one. Well, that's the one that I want because this one doesn't bounce a whole lot. I use these boards that I put screws in the bottom. They hold the piece down. What? I don't know what you're saying. I've primarily stayed off of YouTube. Just because I get so busy. And I've got some published content, some pieces that I'm working on. They take a long time to get done. The other reason I don't really get on the YouTube a whole lot, even for live feeds, is it seems whenever I do a live, it's like a place for people to come to talk a bunch of crap and try to start trouble with other people. The last live feed that I did, I was basically just watching the comments. Wood, Beavis, and Butthead, that's cool. I was just watching the comments a lot and kind of having to moderate a lot of what was going on. It's like it's too much work for me. I spend more time looking at the phone and monitoring comments that people were saying than actually getting anything done. Personally, I like to get stuff done. I don't like to just sit around and talk on live feed. It seems like most stuff people want to talk about, even when you're on a live feed, none of it has anything to do with what I'm interested in. Seems like a lot of stuff, people come in and talk on YouTube. They'll start talking in the chats and they just go on, they talk about stuff. People either have a conversation with them or everybody ignores the person. I don't know what people are looking for when they come to my channel to talk. Yeah, I don't know what you're. I don't know what some of you are trying to say, and it confuses me. I don't often come on the live feeds to actually talk to people or to cause trouble or have any kind of conversation. I usually like to do live just to show the work that I'm doing. Seems to me a lot of the stuff that people talk about on my live feeds, I don't know what you guys are talking about half the time. I'm not on the, I don't keep up with social media very well. I'm just putting grass behind the rear of the bird, because that's going to help support when I make the legs. The legs are going to be kind of thin. Well, thanks everybody for dropping in. Hello to anybody new, any new subscribers or any new viewers that are interested in seeing some woodwork stuff and carving, chainsaw carving. That's mostly what I do on YouTube. saw is really dull. That one needs to be sharpened. So we may just be down to the battery saw for the smaller detail stuff. Battery dead. There's the ball game. I don't know why. Oh, there's tape in it. That one. Shuffle my mess here. Time for oil. Alright, so I guess instruction, if you want some instruction, I can show you quick. This is going to be another rooster. And you see how I use a piece of limb wood for the feathers. For strength, I usually take a log that's got a branch. This was the log. This is the branch coming off. Usually take a piece of wood like that to get a little bit more strength in here. The knotwood, the limb wood will give a little bit more strength. There's a limb here and a limb there. You don't have to do that, but I kind of find that it does help a lot in general when carving, because then you kind of know where you're going with it. You kind of know where to place it. It's kind of easier that way. It's kind of just follow the I kind of look for the right piece of wood, and then I look for the piece of wood that helps me make the carving easier. Then I just kind of follow along wherever that piece of wood is telling me, you know, make it wider here or thinner there. I don't know where you guys are from. You can shout out and say that in the chat. Here, I'm bundled up because it's kind of cold in here. I got the heat going, but I just came in here like an hour ago or less. It takes a little time to get it warm in here. Let's see, get this more in the center. Yeah, the whole shop was a mess. I don't know if you guys have seen the shop before, but it's not a very big place. And just pan around. This is the entire shop. Got my drum kit, my guitars, and then got my, this is my box where I dry stuff. Often I'll put carvings in this box. I built it, and I'll turn the heater around and flip it. Blast the hot air in that box. Yeah, this is pretty much, I mean, I don't know, in the last video, there was a pile of wood almost up to that shelf in this corner. You couldn't even see this cart before. Yeah, that's basically what I've been up to most of this time. And over in the heat box thing too, if I want to camp out and stay here overnight, basically that's what's in there now is some of my camping gear. All my camping gear, everything's behind the phone here. All my stuff for cooking, all my stuff for extra heat or whatever I need, extra clothes. I keep that on that side. It's just more organized. It's easier to keep it cleaner. All my carving stuff is the other two walls for now. That's the fan. Preferably, I'd like to get everything out of here except just for carving. At some point, I will get organized enough to do that. I don't know why that's not. That one battery has been repaired and glued back together numerous times. It doesn't seem to like taking a charge now. Okay, so we got the one leg showing here. Well, it looks like it's charging now. I keep hearing noise. I hear things when I have these headphones on. These are great. These are a steel. They got a Bluetooth thing for I can play music on the phone. If I wasn't doing live, I can listen to what's on my phone. Now, oftentimes I don't do live stream because I like to put a video on my phone and just listen to it while I work. That's most of the time what I'm doing, or I have music going. I have another phone that connects via Wi-Fi. Sometimes I'll use that for the live stream while I'm listening to other stuff if I have the time to set it up. Yowza! Caught it right in the gut. Guess I should have blocked that out first. I could have, easily. I work back and forth. I don't really have a rhyme or reason. Oh, no, not really. Somebody asked if the people are asking if I do certain things. I don't have a lot of time for that. I mean, we don't have, they asked if I do a flamingo. We don't have flamingos around here. I mean, they do sell, but people like the plastic ones too, or the fiberglass ones. I guess I would do them if it were worth my time to do, like if somebody really wanted them. The art that I'm more into doing isn't really yard art. Good morning. Yeah, it's late here. Well, it's not late. It's like 6 or 7 in the evening. I don't really do a lot of the yard art. Like if people say I want to put it outside, I say, well, that's not really the realm that I work in. I mean, yeah, for big carvings, I've got big 6-7 foot tall bears that I do for outside, but I even tell people it's best if you put it under a covering, put it on a porch that has a roof or something. I'm more into the gallery, like more into the artistic side of things. Less of the yard decoration end of things. I've done that for years. And it almost seems like it's more trouble than it's worth, because then people are upset if they leave a piece of wood out and it rots or cracks sitting outside in the weather. Then it seems like it becomes my fault, even though I only made the piece out of wood, that's the medium I mostly work in. So if you buy a piece like this, you want to keep in mind how it's going to weather, how it's going to hold up in the weather. I don't know. I don't know about the trigger on this saw, because the saw's getting old, the trigger wears out, the mechanism in there likes to freeze up a lot. Alright, I try to get this flat so the pieces stay flat. I got a mess of cords everywhere. That's the one thing that I would like to solve one day, if possible. I don't know if I could or not. Oh, this is curved, that's why it's not sitting. That's why it's not clamping in well. Because the actual board is curved. Let's see if I can correct that. Sometimes they get a little bit warpy. If they've been sitting outside or the cold will make them warpy. Let's see if I can flip it a little better. Just a piece of 3/4 ply or 1/2 inch ply, usually 3/4, 5/8 is really good for this. It's got bumps on it from gluing. But it's probably going to work for what I need. So yeah, I haven't really been around that much. Sometimes my work takes me to a different town or a different county for a while, and I kind of enjoy that. And I've been working on that the past couple months, going out to another area. Kind of feeling out how the work is out there. I just kind of get restless. If I can go somewhere else than where I go every day, then and I can still make a living or make somewhat of a living elsewhere. In the work that I do, we do the delivery stuff a lot. And this one town that I work, the main town I work in, it almost seems like, especially around the holidays, that traffic gets so bad that there's no point in even trying to work those days, because you're just sitting in traffic most of the time and contending with other traffic, or you get parking lots, and people are in such a hurry around the holidays that it gets, even in the other towns that I work in. But a lot of the parking lots in the town that's near my shop where I work, it's a very small, congested town, but it's very high population density. And it gets crazy. Like when you try to do something, you're not going to get anywhere. It's better to not even try working during those times. I do like that bigger, older saw. It has a lot of torque. It just, as soon as it goes in, it starts cutting. It goes right for it. Yep. And there's a lot of people chitter chattering. How you guys doing? Me, I'm here. Now working around a split like this is kind of hard, keeping the saw from diving into that crack and skipping around in there is kind of difficult. It's a little bit of a trick, but I can repair that later. I'm kind of in the mode where I just want to carve for a bit. I'd rather do most of the carving and then repair it later. I'm being too picky about the toes. I should just leave it and move on. His forehead's a little bit off, but kind of roll with it once you get it. Once you get it to one height on one side, you can't really take it back on the other, so now I'm just looking at the evenness of it. I want to do a lot more projects. I want to do more stuff like this. It's more fun for me to do than just the bears and the owls and the eagles. I want to do like more tiki faces, maybe some more fish, some benches, some tables. I want to build stuff more than carve it too. Alright, well, how much for the skull? Not really sure. Yeah, you reminded me of something. What skull are you seeing anyway? There's a skull off in the corner over here. Kind of that guy. But I got this one that I like to show off more than anything. There's a little Wolfie Wolf. We'll put him up here with the tiki face. And I know if I promised you a carving and didn't get to it, I'm sorry about that, but often people will ask me for something and I'll say, well, if I get time, you know, and I don't know, they take that as, it's kind of like I'm indebted now to do it at some point in my life for that person because they want something, and they never let me live it down until I get it done. And people ask me for stuff all the time, so that's why I'm kind of getting away from that, because it takes up way too much of my time to do stuff at special requests for people, even trying to sell stuff. I like to have it as background, or if I have a show coming up, I like to have those pieces as something for people to see. Because I usually do these bears. These are a big seller of mine. And you see I'm repairing. I'm in the state where this one's not finished yet, but I usually do a lot of these every year. And I'm so busy with those, I don't have to do anything else sales-wise. You can see there's a bunch. There's a bunch of them over here in the corner. I got a whole pile of them over there that I work on, both top and bottom. And that's my main sales, because also those are easy to move and ship. They're easy to deal with. So as far as other stuff goes, I kind of just do it and have it on hand. And I don't really sell a lot of the other stuff often. And if I do sell it, I usually ask a lot for it, because it takes me a while to get another one made. Yeah, feet are a little different size. Not even so much that as one is in front of the other a little bit more. I don't know if you can see that from the view that's going on there. Thank you. I don't know exactly what you're saying, but it looks good. It looks positive what you're saying. Thank you. Is that Spanish? I don't know. What's that flag? Mexico? No, Mexico is green, white, and red, isn't it? Is that Mexico's flag? Green, white, red? I think it is. Me personally, I'm friends with everybody, so it doesn't matter to me where you're from or who you are. If you're a good person, you're a good person, right? Me personally, I'm friends with people from all corners of the globe. I can kind of relate. I can kind of relate to a lot of people that I don't even speak the same language, because when you try to walk around and have good in your heart, good intent in the world, it's a lot easier to communicate with just about anybody else living on Earth. You guys have seen that tool before, the little eyeball maker. I broke one of the teeth off it. Last show I did this summer, I snipped one of the teeth. It had 2 wings on it, this length. When I broke one off, it still works. Believe it or not, it still does its job. So I'll just keep going until I get time to make a new one. I got bigger ones. I have a smaller one somewhere, but I make my own tools. And that's part of the enjoyment of doing this whole thing. And I start out with these type of bits, and I just shape the bit. You can see the shape of the bit. It's shaped so it cuts like a knife. I don't have a lot of time for tooling right now. I wish I did. There's another thing that I want to get back into more in the shop. Like I said, I haven't had a lot of time in the shop in general since my last big show in July. I don't know if you guys follow the channel or not, if you've seen you saw the stone job I was on this summer, putting all that flagstone in. That was taking up a lot of my carving time, and I wasn't even able to put in a lot of time on that job because I wasn't making a lot of money there. I wasn't charging enough to do the job, so I still had to go out and work hard every day to make money so that I could go there and spend it all on his job. God, I was so glad to get off that job finally. And that's more often than not the sad tale of any skilled trade that you do, any skilled trade that you're in. A lot of us don't make a lot of money at it. We're not very good at pricing those jobs out, and if you're doing that kind of work for a living, you're usually doing it for a company if you're making any money at it. So then, therein lies the rub, as they would say. If I got a job doing stonework all week, every week, or brickwork for a company, you're not going to see a whole lot from me at all because I don't take video when I'm on those jobs. I just go to that job and I work my job and earn my pay and go home and then try to carve when I can, but even there's lawns to mow, there's machines to fix all the time, there's cars to fix, and I actually enjoy that more than carving. And it's not that I would rather do that than carve all the time. But that's the stuff that it kind of takes precedence when I'm here at the property. That takes importance over the carving because that's something that I enjoy doing. I pay rent here to enjoy this place. I don't I don't necessarily try to make money out of here. It's fun when you do. It's fun when you get the extra, but it's just that. It's extra if you have the time and the energy for it. I used to do this for a living. I used to do chainsaw carving for a living, so I know full and well the drawbacks of doing it for a living. I know full and well what I would rather be doing to make money every day. That's mostly why I just do YouTube when I carve now, because that's enjoyable. I enjoy the process. I enjoy bringing my shop to you guys. I enjoy showing my stuff off. It's a lot of money spent, but I'm bringing you into my hobby. Oh, black, red, and yellow, is that Brazil? That's what I was thinking. Is that Brazil? But I do this more to enjoy it now. and that's often people will ask me to do stuff. Well, I carve what I want to because I'm the one paying for all this. And they say, oh, you can make lots of money doing that. Well, I don't want to spend my free time always trying to make a few extra dollars. I make just fine money as extra selling the bears. But the beauty of that is I don't have to do those. If I don't feel like doing those, I walk away. They're there if I want it, and if I don't want to mess with it, then I don't have to deal with it. I can just stop doing it, and nobody's going to worry about it. Well, and it's like I love my family and I love all the advice that I get from them, but they often sit and they're like, I don't know why you don't do this. I don't know why you don't do that. And I'm like, well, what do you do? When you get home after work, what do you do? What do you enjoy doing? There's your answer. I do this. Like I said, I've done it full time. I've done it to make a living. It was not enjoyable for me. It was not fun. I was not having fun most of the time, even though, yes, the shows are fun when you go out and you do a show and you see a bunch of people and you're entertaining parents and their kids. Yes, that's exciting. That's fun. But, man, you get burnt out so easy, too, because all you're doing is a show. You're just doing something for other people to watch, and that gets old sometimes. I mean, carving artwork is one of those businesses that is subjective. You're not always going to make money at it. You're not always going to do well at it. And 90% of the time, to make money at it, to make the easy money and make it sustainable, you gotta have 30 or 40 of these all the time. Well, like I said, when I get tired of doing those, I just set them down and walk away. That's why those aren't finished yet. I'm not worried about it because I'm making money doing other things. I'm paying the bills, keeping the rent paid here. And I'm one of those kind of obsessive compulsive types where I would rather be working on my bicycle. I'd rather be working on a piece of machinery. I'd rather be working on a car. I'd rather be working on a chainsaw. Like, as far as my free time goes, I have compressors that I've completely rebuilt because something broke on them, and I saved them aside, and I buy all the same one, and then I'm ordering parts for them, and it may sit for 2 years before I take the 15-20 minutes to put the new part on it. But I enjoy doing that, and then I enjoy having those tools that I fixed and kept up. I'm always fixing my saws. I'm at the point now where I don't really like buying stuff anymore for this business. The one thing I noticed, that the one problem with this business is when you're making money, you want better tools, right? I bought this when I had the money to buy it. It didn't just come about. I had to save for that thing for years, and I bought a used one. The batteries cost more than the saw did. Every single one of these tools over here is a lengthy investment. Right? Like there's about $350. There's $400 or $500 for these with the variable speed on them, the D800. There's $100, but I mean, and I invest. I make my own bits, right? I invest in my saws. I make a lot of my own bars and chains. I outfit all my stuff so that it works for me. I'm spending a lot of time and a lot of money on bars and chain. If you watch my channel, you see that I know a lot with saws because I work on them and I enjoy that aspect. Like this tool here, there's a video out about this one. This is a power gouge, and I built that. I welded up the hub and outfitted the power gouge so that it does what I want it to do. That's for bigger pieces, but that's what I enjoy about this business. But the thing is, this ArborTech, there's $300-400 there to get that. I didn't have that right away. I didn't have that at first. It took me a long time to save up and really work for one of those. So that's what happens a lot. When you start making money at this, well, at least for me anyway, when I start making money at this, the first thing I want to do is spend it on nicer equipment. That's the biggest downfall, I would say, to carving, is that, and you ask any carver how many saws do they have, a lot of us don't even know offhand how many. A lot of us chainsaw carvers don't even know offhand how many saws we have anymore. My thing is more, how many do I have running and working for me at one time? My goal is to have, 2 or 3 gas saws at all times at work. So when I need a gas saw, I just go and grab one and start cutting. If I spent less time putting fuel in things, putting oil in things, so I have more saws because I oil everything up, and then I have more time that I'm not oiling. Just like with fuel and up saws too. But you can spend all of your money really quick, because you're going to say, if you're making money at it, you're going to say, oh, I need it, I have to have it. Well, you don't, but man, it makes life so much easier. you guys can go over to my channel. You can click on the little circle picture next to my name. It'll take you to my channel. You can see I actually show you all my tools. I show you how they work. I show you different things I do with them. This saw for me was a game changer when I got it, so naturally there I was excited about it. It was cool, and it was a really great tool to have in the shed. And so I made a video series just about this saw when I got it. It's like these little power gouge things. It's just a rotary head with carbide teeth on it. And all it is for it just moves material really fast, and like for the fur detail on the bears, I use it for that instead of a saw because I think it's a nicer look personally. It's more uniform, it's faster. I can cover this whole bear with that tool in about 1/3 to 1/2 of the time that it takes me to do it with a saw. So if I'm doing 20 or 30 bears, that really speeds things up a lot. If I got to get them done quick, boom, I can do 5 or 6 of them detail, and my back doesn't hurt. I'm not wore out. It's just all around easier since I got that tool. Now here we did the bad thing of the fatal cut through, but that's thick enough. I'm going to leave that. It's okay to have a little bit of a cut through. Can't help it now. I could glue a piece in there, but you're always going to see it. This is the only bummer to me. When the batteries die on this saw, it cuts super slow. And I try to run it down as much as I can, but then I keep telling myself it's probably better if I don't. The thing I like about this is I can keep going here for a while as long as I keep my batteries charged. As long as I keep my batteries rotated in the charger. Yeah, and that guy's not happy. It's this whole side, I don't know why. There's something stuck in there, I think. Give me a second here. There. Are we happy yet? We doing it yet, guys? Are we moving forward? So I'm looking for. No, it's not happy again. I don't know why. This side. Huh. it is in. These things are weird too. All right, so this is junk battery, this is non-Makita, and this is Makita. So I'm mixing my batteries, which isn't the smartest thing to do. Wow, there's still quite an audience here. Thank you, everybody. Hello to everybody saying hi. Hi back. How you doing? Tell us a story. Say anything you like here on the chat. Just keep it nice and keep it real. I just asked no weird stuff. Don't get weird on us, otherwise we got to send you out the door. And I think that's kind of funny and ironic that people come on the internet and they think they're entitled to go on somebody else's channel or live feed and say certain things like it's their right to be weird or just wrong. Just because I'm here and my friends are here doesn't mean that you can come and take over. I'm not trying to harp on it, but the last live feed that I did, that person was being extremely weird in a creepy way, kind of, and people were even telling them to stop. And eventually it just got to the point where I said, well, that's it. They're out. They can go bug somebody else's live feed. I don't need that person here. I don't need that kind of attention. Nobody does. And that's just it, is I'm not going to argue with it. Usually I'll get those commenters where as soon as they say hi, I get a bad feeling. I know something's going to happen. So you already got me on edge if you're coming in with ill intent. Kind of smell it a mile away. Most of the time I prefer just not to even engage, so you could just walk out and nobody would miss you. That's why I don't really sit and look at the chats a whole lot and read a whole lot of what people say or respond to most of it. Because usually, it seems like usually when I do, I'm stepping into a messy conversation, or I just don't want to deal. You know, I'm not here for that. What I'm doing has nothing to do with that. Like my grandpa used to say, more often than not, if somebody wants to cause trouble or have argument with people when they come in the room, you know it right away. And best thing to do is just ignore them, not even get involved, not even give them time of day. Because in the end, where did it get you? Absolutely nowhere. It got you absolutely nowhere, and you wasted your time and the time of the rest of the people watching. There's been times on my chats where there's been arguments or conversations that I didn't want to have on my channel. I didn't even say anything. I looked at it for a few minutes. I read what was going on, and then I booted everybody from the channel. I mean, not everybody, but everybody who was in that conversation. Anybody who said anything during that conversation, if it wasn't anything other than, hey, stop, or this isn't the time or the place for this, uh, you were gone that quick. I didn't even worry about it. I didn't even say anything about it. And sometimes you gotta wonder if it's AI doing it, where you can plug a phone into a docking port and the phone will actually, you can plug two phones in and they'll have a conversation to get other people to join in that conversation. Oh, she's spazzing out again. But I've seen it where there's AI that deliberately pushes toward creating a certain mood or environment on a video or a live feed to get people to pay attention to that channel. And that's one thing that I don't discourage that here. If you guys have a YouTube channel and you want to plug your channel and get people to come to your channel to subscribe, if it's a cool channel, if it has something to do with something that I want to be involved with, by all means, promote your channel. But I've had a lot of people who have their own channel, and I tell them, cool, I'll plug your channel, I'll help you out, whatever. And you go to their channel and they have like 30 subscribers and they're like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And it's like, well, you have 9 videos and they're all weird. Like they have nothing to do with anything that I would ever be interested in either. So I will help you, but if you look at my channel, I have hundreds of videos and I've been doing this a long time and I don't make a lot of money doing this, and I still keep pushing. I still keep doing it because I like to do it. So if you're just looking to get likes and views and make mad money off your channel, I would say watch a lot of YouTube, learn how to do that, having a faceless channel that you don't have to really work at. Me, on the other hand, I prefer to work and fail. I would rather work and fail than to be miserable because I didn't work at it and then I failed. You know what I mean? And the thing is that I've helped other carvers go from 40 or 50 subscribers up to, say, 1,000 subscribers to where they could get monetized. And I gave them a lot of my time and a lot of my advice, and it seemed like they got discouraged really easy. So the thing is, anybody can have a YouTube channel. Anybody can have a successful YouTube channel. And it's mostly what you put into it. It really is mostly what you put into it. The more time and energy that you put into that channel, the better it's going to do. And I spend so much time watching all these other YouTube channels that are all about how to have a successful channel, how to build a channel. Even 15 years later, I still watch all that stuff to see if I can pick up anything. Any one little thing, I watch a 2-hour video and listen to it while I'm doing other work, just to see if there's a little tidbit of something in there that's helpful for me to move on forward with my own channel. And I don't actually look at it like, oh, I got to be successful at this. But I'm always trying to, extra's nice. It's always extra, or it's always nice to have extra in life. The harder you work, the nicer it is to have extra things. I can tell you that. That's called reward. Risk, you get rewarded for the risks that you take in life. You don't get rewarded sitting there watching life go by. So anybody can have a channel. Anybody can be successful at it if you really want it. If you really want to push for it, you can. I'm not a big success. My content is basically buried amongst the thousands of other people doing the same thing. I'm in that genre where YouTube decides what to push. If I really come up with something different and I spend lots and lots of time putting the video together going, oh, this is going to be great, and then nothing comes of it, then I'm kind of bummed out. Then I'm like, well, that's not the way. So I'm only doing those videos for fun. As far as stuff like this, I got more views on this just standing here carving and talking bullcrap than on a video that I spent 4 months putting together. So I do the math on those. I do these live feeds mostly to help keep people interested and keep my viewers who are loyal, they got something to watch. Well, and the thing is, guys, that it's not always your fault that your videos aren't being seen. YouTube is always changing how they push views, how they get more advertising dollars. That's their goal and mine. So everything changes based on that. Even if you don't have a monetized channel, you're still under that radar. Sometimes it's a complete mystery. There's videos of mine that have done really well where I'm just sitting there going, I can't believe that did so well. It makes no sense to me. And then I try to copy that and do it again. Doesn't do well at all. So it doesn't always make sense. Well, that's why you see a lot of us create as YouTube makers, whatever you want to, video makers. That's why you see us going more to live feed stuff, just sitting here talking and working, because that seems to be what's working the best for us, most of us. That time in the genre and the type of videos that we're in, what gets the push, the pull. Oh, Colombia. Oh, there it is, Colombia. I see it now. Sorry, I can't read. I'm blind half the time. Colombia, awesome. I just noticed that black, red, and yellow. They said Colombia at the bottom. I just don't know how to read. But 90% of the time, we're out here experimenting most of the time, because it's never the same. What we did yesterday doesn't make sense today. So we're always trying different things. Okay, so thanks for hanging out, guys. I think I'm going to end this one. We're at about 2 hours now. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later.